Horses are incredibly intuitive animals, but they're not mind readers. Many times, riders unknowingly send mixed signals, leaving their horses confused and frustrated. From inconsistent cues to misreading body language, these common mistakes can make it harder for your horse to understand what you want. Let's dive into 13 things riders do that completely baffle their horses and how to fix them. 1. Sending mixed signals. Riders often confuse their horses by sending mixed signals. For example, squeezing with their legs to ask for forward movement while holding tight on the reins, which tells the horse to stop. This contradiction leaves the horse unsure of what to do, leading to hesitation or resistance. Horses rely on clear, consistent cues. If the same request is made differently each time, they struggle to understand what's expected. To avoid this, riders should ensure their aids work together. When asking for movement, give the horse space to go forward. And when asking for a stop, use the whole body, not just the reins. Clarity builds trust, making communication smoother for both horse and rider. 2. Holding the reins too tight. Many riders hold the reins too tightly, thinking it gives them more control. In reality, constant tension on the reins can frustrate a horse, making them feel trapped or restricted. Instead of moving freely, they may toss their head, resist, or even develop a hard mouth over time. Horses respond best to a soft, steady connection. The reins should be used as a way to guide, not to force. A relaxed grip with subtle adjustments allows the horse to stay responsive while still feeling comfortable. When riders learn to trust their horse and give them the freedom to move naturally, the ride becomes smoother and more enjoyable for both. 3. Staring down at their head. Many riders develop the habit of staring down at their horse's head, whether out of nervousness, concentration, or simply habit. While this might seem harmless, it actually throws off balance and sends unintended signals to the horse. Horses are incredibly in tune with a rider's body position, and when a rider's head drops, their weight shifts forward, making it harder for the horse to move efficiently. Beyond balance issues, constantly looking down also affects communication. A horse relies on subtle cues from the rider, and if the rider is focused downward instead of looking ahead, they may miss important moments to guide their horse properly. Instead, keeping eyes up and looking where they want to go helps create a smooth, confident ride. When a rider leads with their vision, the horse follows with more trust and clarity. 4. Overusing verbal cues. Some riders rely too much on verbal cues, talking constantly to their horse or repeating commands over and over. While horses can recognize certain words or tones, they primarily respond to body language and physical cues. Overloading them with unnecessary chatter can actually confuse them rather than help. If a rider repeatedly says "whoa," but continues squeezing with their legs or holding tension in the reins, the horse receives conflicting information. Should they stop or keep moving? Similarly, using verbal cues without reinforcing them with physical signals can make the words meaningless over time. Instead, riders should use verbal cues sparingly and consistently, pairing them with clear physical aids. A well-timed walk-on, or easy, can reinforce what the rider is already asking through their seat and hands. The key is to make verbal commands intentional rather than background noise, allowing the horse to associate specific words with precise actions. 5. Poor timing with aids. Poor timing with aids can be confusing for your horse. When you give a cue, whether from your reins, legs, or seat, the timing should be precise. If you give a cue too early or too late, your horse may not understand what you're asking for. For example, if you apply leg pressure just as your horse is lifting its hooves in the walk, they might not understand that you want them to trot. The key is to apply your aids exactly when you want the horse to respond. Quick, well-timed cues help your horse learn faster and respond more confidently. When your timing is spot on, your horse starts to associate each aid with the correct action, building trust and clarity between you both. It's all about being consistent and immediate with your aids to avoid confusion. 6. Holding their breath while riding. Holding your breath while riding might seem like an unconscious habit, but it can make a significant impact on how your horse responds. Horses are incredibly sensitive to their rider's emotions and physical tension. If you're tense and holding your breath, your horse can pick up on that and may start to feel anxious or uncertain too. When you hold your breath, your own body stiffens, which can interfere with your ability to give clear and smooth cues. You may unintentionally make your horse feel tighter and less willing to move freely. It can also affect your posture and balance, making it harder for you to stay centered and communicate effectively with your horse. To avoid this, remember to relax and breathe deeply while riding. Deep breaths will not only help you stay calm and focused, but also help your horse feel more relaxed and responsive. A steady, relaxed rider encourages a steady, relaxed horse. 7. Expecting instant perfection. Expecting instant perfection from your horse is a common mistake, especially for beginners. Just like people, horses need time to learn, grow, and adjust. Expecting flawless behavior or instant results can create pressure that both you and your horse can't handle, leading to frustration on both ends. Horses learn at their own pace, and while they are incredibly intuitive animals, they are not robots. They may take time to process and respond to cues, especially if they are new or unfamiliar with something. If you expect immediate perfection, you risk creating confusion, stress, and even resentment. Instead, focus on the progress your horse makes, even if it's small steps. Patience is key to building a strong, lasting relationship. Recognizing that learning is a journey will help both you and your horse feel more comfortable and open to the experience. This will ultimately lead to better, more harmonious training sessions. 8. Changing cues without warning. Changing cues without warning can leave your horse confused. Horses rely on consistency to understand what's expected of them, so switching cues unexpectedly can disrupt their learning and cause frustration. For example, if you normally use a gentle leg squeeze to ask for movement, but suddenly tug on the reins, your horse may struggle to figure out what you want. To avoid this, stick to the same cues, especially during training. If you do need to change them, give your horse time to adjust gradually. Consistency builds trust and helps your horse respond confidently to your requests. 9. Forgetting to release pressure. Forgetting to release pressure is a common mistake that can confuse your horse. When you apply pressure, whether with your reins or legs, you're asking for a response. If you don't release the pressure when your horse does what you asked, they might not understand that they've done it right. By releasing pressure immediately after the correct response, you're giving your horse clear feedback and rewarding their effort. It helps build trust, ensures better communication, and makes the horse more likely to repeat the desired behavior. 10. Rushing transitions. Rushing transitions is a common mistake that can confuse your horse and lead to frustration for both of you. When you ask your horse to move from one gait or exercise to another too quickly, it can make the transition feel abrupt, and the horse may struggle to respond correctly. This can create tension and make the ride less smooth. It's important to allow your horse time to adjust to each transition. Giving them a moment to gather themselves before asking for the next movement not only helps them feel more comfortable, but it also promotes better responsiveness. A smooth, controlled transition shows your horse exactly what you expect, reinforcing your communication and building trust. Patience is key. Take your time to ask for transitions at a pace that your horse can handle. 11. Ignoring their horse's body language. Ignoring your horse's body language can lead to confusion and frustration, as horses communicate primarily through subtle physical cues. If you miss signs like pinned ears, a swishing tail, or a tense posture, your horse may become anxious, defensive, or unwilling to cooperate. These signals are your horse's way of telling you how they feel, whether they're uncomfortable, anxious, or simply need a break. Paying attention to these cues builds a stronger bond and improves communication. For example, if your horse is showing signs of discomfort, you may need to adjust your riding or give them time to relax. Listening to their body language helps create a more positive experience, making your horse feel understood and supported. Ignoring these signals can damage the trust between you and your horse, leading to behavioral issues down the line. So, always keep an eye out for how your horse is responding to your cues and actions. Recognizing when they're not comfortable will allow you to make adjustments before things escalate. 12. Being unpredictable. Being unpredictable with your horse can create confusion and anxiety. Horses thrive on routine, and inconsistency in your actions or cues can leave them unsure of how to respond. If you ask your horse to do something one way one day and change it the next without explanation, it can cause hesitation and resistance. Maintaining consistency helps build trust and makes your horse feel more confident. Stick to clear, predictable cues and routines to avoid eroding that trust. A predictable approach makes your horse more cooperative, creating a smoother partnership. 13. Focusing too much on control. Focusing too much on control can strain your relationship with your horse. While it's important to guide your horse, overemphasizing control can create tension and a lack of trust. Horses are sensitive creatures that respond best to relaxed, confident leadership. If you constantly micromanage every movement, it makes your horse feel restricted and can lead to frustration or resistance. Instead, work on fostering a partnership based on mutual respect. Allow your horse some freedom to express themselves and focus on clear communication rather than dominating their every move. When you strike the right balance between leadership and partnership, your horse will respond more willingly and feel more at ease during your rides. Horses don't speak our language, so it's up to us to communicate clearly. By avoiding these common mistakes, you'll build a better relationship with your horse and create a smoother riding experience. Which of these have you caught yourself doing? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more horse-related content.